This is Apethorpe Hall, a fabulous Elizabethan mansion in Northamptonshire, home of Sir Walter Mildmay, Chancellor of the Exchequer in the reign of Elizabeth I. And I've come here to Apethorpe because I want to explore the story of smallpox in Elizabethan England, when the disease reached endemic proportions in this country, overtaking plague, leprosy, syphilis as the greatest killer of the age. In 1566, Queen Elizabeth herself visited Apethorpe. She was a famous victim of smallpox. 4 years into her reign, she fell sick at Hampton Court, and the nation feared for her life. She was lucky. She survived. But 2 of her ladies-in-waiting caught the disease at the same time. One of them died. The other was left so badly disfigured with pockmarks all over her face, she had to wear a mask to attend court. Smallpox was famously no respecter of place or person. It was the scourge of princes and paupers, responsible across the country for 1 in 10 deaths. So what did people do back then, in the face of this terrible disease? What did they think caused it? What did they do to treat it? In the local church at Apethorpe, there's a tomb to Sir Anthony Mildmay, Sir Walter's son, and lying beside him, his wife, Lady Grace. And if you want to understand what Elizabethans thought about disease and the workings of the human body, Lady Grace provides an answer. She was amazing, this woman. She was one of those real tough-as-boots Elizabethan gentlewomen, more than happy to run the whole estate when her husband was away, which he frequently was. But what makes her really remarkable was that she wrote pages and pages of personal and spiritual reflections. And in those writings, she set down treatments for all kinds of Elizabethan ailments, smallpox included. Lady Grace Mildmay was a kind of amateur doctor. Her epitaph describes her as charitably helpful with physic, which means medicine, to any in misery. In her gardens, she grew exotic herbs. In her kitchens, she mixed chemical cures. Like all Elizabethans, her understanding of the body was rooted in ancient beliefs, that the body must be held in balance, that the humours of the body, blood, phlegm, bile, if out of balance, cause disease. And so her cure for smallpox begins with the purging of the body, drawing blood from the liver vein of the arm to allow corrupted blood to escape. I've got here a modern version of Lady Grace's treatment for smallpox. And what's really interesting about it is that actually it mixes up all kinds of different ideas. So there's the old Greek idea about the human body being out of balance, but there's also a more recent 16th century idea suggesting that for every disease there's a particular chemical cause. And so for smallpox, Lady Grace recommends a lotion to be applied to the patient's face and arms and legs. And the active ingredient in this lotion, rather terrifyingly, is arsenic. The idea being, I suppose, you use a poison to combat the poison in the body. Utterly useless and terribly dangerous. But you can see at least what they were thinking. The truth is, there is no cure for smallpox. We learnt in the centuries that followed how to contain the disease and how to prevent it through inoculation and vaccination, building up the body's natural resistance. But no cure was ever found. Once the disease struck, it worked its course, killing 30% of those it infected. Bottom line, Lady Grace Mildmay tried as best she could to combat something she couldn't possibly understand, and it would take centuries of painstaking observation, bold experimentation, and deadly mistakes before the scourge of princes and paupers was finally brought to an end.